JavaScript is scripting language. Scripting language. And one more thing, JS is browser interpreted program. Browser interpreted program. And JS is a important component in web development. And JS have a lot of libraries. JS have a lot of libraries like jQuery, Bootstrap, React, JS, Angular, Vue.js, Express, Node, and EXT.js, and Ember.js, Ember.js, and Knockout.js, etc. See, JavaScript is having a lot of libraries and frameworks like things like frameworks. JS have a lot of libraries and frameworks like jQuery, Bootstrap, React.js, Angular, Vue.js, Express, Node.js, EXT.js, Ember.js, and Knockout.js, etc. Once we know JavaScript, once we familiar with the JavaScript, you can able to move to any kind of library or any kind of framework on top of the JavaScript. And what we can do with the JavaScript? Using with the JavaScript, basically JavaScript is for client-side web development. And using with the JavaScript, you can do a lot of things. We can develop web applications, we can develop mobile applications, and we can develop games. We can develop a blockchain development, and we can do JavaScript with a multiple kind of categories and multiple kind of domains. And coming to the mobile application and some other libraries like React Native, and one more thing is a native script, and one more thing is something like a Cordova, and something like Ionic. See, all these are going to be on top of the JavaScript. When we know JavaScript very well, then you people can able to learn jQuery, you people can able to learn Bootstrap, you people can able to learn React, Angular, Vue, Express, Node, EXT, Ember, Knockout, React Native Script, Cordova, Ionic. Basically, coming to the mobile application, nowadays mobile applications basically focusing cross-domain mobile development. People are not actually moving to the native development, and people are mostly moving to the cross-domain mobile development. For the cross-domain mobile development, one is the React Native, one is Ionic, and one more is a native script. All these are actually highly demanded. All these things are basically highly demanded. For all these things, basically people are working with React Native, Ionic, native script. With only React Native, also people are getting jobs. Only with React Native framework, people are getting jobs. That is the why reason JavaScript is a core programming for all these things. When we know JavaScript very well, then we people can move to the React Native, Ionic, native script in the part of the mobile application development also. And now I'm coming to the JavaScript basic concepts of this JavaScript. Any programming, you know, if you go for any programming language, common concepts like variables and operators, loops, conditions, and different kind of data types and different kind of functions. All these things are actually common in the JavaScript. Basic concepts of JavaScript is very, very common. And one more thing, JavaScript is very, very simple. JS is very simple. JS is very simple. And JS is loosely coupled object-oriented programming. Object-based programming, not object-oriented. JavaScript is not object-oriented. On top of the JavaScript, we have the ES6 and TypeScript. These two are object oriented. Basically ES6 and TypeScript is completely type based programming and object oriented. And basically ES6 for React developers. ES6 for React developers. And TypeScript for Angular developers. So whoever people want to move to the Angular in the part of the client side development, they will choose the TypeScript programming. After learning JavaScript, definitely we should learn ES6 programming fundamentals. When we know ES6 programming fundamentals, then people can able to move to the TypeScript. That is a very, very good one. Okay, fine. So now finally I'm starting with the JavaScript. Starting with the JavaScript and how this JavaScript is going to be integrating into the HTML. So first of all, we should understand how to integrate JS to HTML. How to integrate JS to HTML. So there are many kind of ways integration of JavaScript to HTML. The first kind of way is inline JS, and one more is internal JS, and one more is external JS. And we do check with the JavaScript in the browser console. So inside the browser console also you can check with the JavaScript. And the fifth one is check with online editors. If you are going with online editors, so then also you can able to check with the JavaScript. And first one I will go with the inline JS. Inline JS basically, guys, element level JavaScript. This is element specific JavaScript. Element specific JS. And coming to the internal JS is basically page specific JS. Straightforward. Page specific JS. Page specific JS. And one more is external JS. External JS is throughout application specific JS. Application specific JS. And coming to the browser console is each and every browser having some console window where you can check with the JavaScript and you can do practice with the JavaScript. You can write JavaScript. We can write JS in console window. And one more thing, console is used for debug applications. Console is used for debug applications. The last one is online editors, where we can use online editors. Online editors, there are multiple kind of online editors which are going to be available in the market. With all these online editors, we should have internet connection first. Internet connection must. When we have internet connection, then we can go with online editor, practice for the JavaScript. So I will show one by one. First, I will go with inline, internal, external, browser console, online editors. So let me go with the code. Let me save this. And desktop, our folder is something like this. Okay, this is going to be 7 by no. Okay, so in this I want to save the notes. That's it. Then I want to just write a program for this. Let me open the Visual Studio Code. And this Visual Studio Code, I just want to write a program for different kind of things. Okay, the first one is inline JS. How to work with inline JS? Let me save the program. This is going to be something like inline JS. Inline JS.html. See how this inline JS is going to be working with. Basically, we have the body content. Inside the body, I want to load a event called onload event. Onload. So whenever I'm loading this body, I try to load a alert box. Alert. Okay. Alert. Okay. So basically, inline JS basically working for events. Inline JS basically working for events. So I'm writing some event for the body. That's it. I got an event, and inside the body I have the one more element called h1, and h1 have something like click me. H1 have something like click me. So for this h1, I want to write a style sheet for this. Style h1, background color something like orange, and the color will be black, and the text line center. That's enough. Now you check it out. You check it out. We have two alert boxes now. One is this one, and I want to show one more alert when I click on this h1. Then what you want to do? For this h1, I want to load one more event like on click event. On click is equal to, I want to write alert. This alert is something like h1 clicked. So remember one thing. Whenever you are writing event, we have the double quotes. For event, we have double quotes. Attribute value in the double quotes. Whenever we are writing double quotes for the value, then don't write double quotes again inside the attribute. Don't write again double quotes inside the attribute value. You have to go with a single quote. If you take a single quote outside, then take double quote inside. That's a very important thing you have to remember. If you are writing again double quote inside, it will give you the error. If I'm writing double quote again here, it will give you the error. Just don't write double quote again inside. So that's a way of working with the things, and go with a single quote, and right click on this. Already browser is running, and refresh it. Okay, and click on the click me h1 click, something this. So this is a way of working with the inline JS. Next, I'm going with internal JS. Internal JS.html. How this internal JS is going to be working with. Internal JS is very simple. We have to write a script tag. Script tag open, script tag close. Script tag. So script is the HTML tag. Inside the script tag, I want to write the HTML code. So this is inline JS loading. This is inline JS. Inline JS is loading. Inline or internal? Sorry, internal. Internal JS is loading. So right click on this and open the browser, and you will be see that internal JS is loading over there. Internal JS is loading over there. Now I'm trying with external JS. External JS. How this external JS will be? External JS is going to be having a JavaScript file separate. JS file separate. I want to take a new JS file that should be something like file.js. Now JavaScript file is separate file. File.js I'm creating. Inside the file.js I'm writing some JavaScript code. So that will be something like external JS is loading. External JS is loading. That's it. Now save this and come to the external JS.html. Try to access that file.js into this. Script src, then file.js. Script src, then file.js. So remember this. Script is the tag now, and src is the attribute for this. What is src here? src is a special attribute. Special attribute to assign source. src is the special attribute to assign source. Just you have to remember this. And that particular file.js can be able to access with the multiple kind of HTMLs. If I'm having 1000 HTMLs, for all the 1000 HTMLs, I can able to access the same HTML. That should be very important. You have to remember. The thing is external JS file, application specific JS. I'm writing a file.js separate one, and here I'm writing so much JavaScript code. Whatever the JavaScript code you're writing, you can able to access that one into the file.html anywhere. If I'm having a lot of HTML files, for all the HTML files, I can able to access this file.js. How to access the file.js? I need to write a script src. Script src and file.js we need to mention. Whatever the name you are giving, the same name you have to mention. This is going to be a script tag clause. So remember this one. This is very, very important for the external, but internal is separate. Internal is going to be having a script open, script close. Script open, script close. And inside the script tag, you can write a lot of JS code. Whatever the JS code you want, you can write. And inline JS mostly for events. Inline JS mostly for events on element open tag. And events here are attributes. Events here are attributes. We have to specify some attributes over there. So that's it. That's it about external JavaScript, inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript. Then we go with the browser console. How to work with the browser console? Let me take a new file, and this one is browser console .html. So let me open browser console. Open browser console for JS. Okay, I'm just writing this. Right click on this, open the default browser, and output is very simple. Open browser console for JS. I'm trying to open the browser console. Right click on this and go to the inspect here. Chrome inspect is there directly. And inside the inspect, you will be having the console window. There you can write your JS code, something like alert. I'm writing alert. Okay, so I'm just writing okay here. I got the OK button. Then I'm going to be writing something like X value, and I'm writing a Y value. Y is 20, and X plus Y 30. I got 30 now. So in this way, you have to follow. The console window. Console window is basically for debug your application or write JavaScript inside the console window. Then the one more way of writing JavaScript is online editor. You can write any online editor. You take any online editor. So just check for the more and more online editors. I can write something for JavaScript. Online editors. JavaScript online editor. Check for JavaScript online editor. There are multiple kind of things. One is the JS Fiddle, one is the JS compiler, one is the JS bin, one is the CodePen, one is the Code Sandbox. Wherever you want, you can go. JavaScript online editors. There are multiple kind of online editors which are going to be available in the internet. So one is the JS Fiddle, one is the JS editor, one is the JS.do, one is the tutorials point, one is the CodePen, one is the Code Sandbox, JS bin. So most probably I'm using jsbin.com sometime. So JSBin is the nice one where you can do practice with your JavaScript. I just want to click on JavaScript and try to write some code over there. So whenever I'm writing something here, automatically I got alert box. And let me write something like, okay, JSBin is very, very interactive. It is going to be giving you output whenever you're writing something, very much interactive. But whenever you want to do practice with the JavaScript in online editors, compulsory internet is required. If you don't have internet, you can't able to see online editors, or you can't able to do practice with online editors. Just try to understand. And now today we will discuss some other JS related methods. What are the very important JS related methods? The one is alert box. So what is the alert function? What is the JS function? Alert. Why we are using alerts in JavaScript? In JavaScript, alert is a function, or is a predefined function. And why we are using this function? Using with alerts, using with alert method, we can show some user messages or some pop-up messages. So just giving some alert for the user, that's alert box. Next, one more thing is console.log function. What about this console.log function? Console.log basically using for, it's a JavaScript function. Is a JS function. It's a JS function used for show console outputs. And console.log method will allow single quotes or double quotes, single quotes or double quotes. So it means what? Not quotes, 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 single quotes or double quotes. So how this will be something like console.log, and inside this I can write a message hello JS with single quotes, and I can able to write the same console log with double quotes also. Double quotes nothing but this one, hello JS, welcome. That's it. So single quotes and double quotes both will allow for the console.log. Console.log is JS function used for show console outputs. And one more thing, console.log is very important. This function is very important for debug JS code. Whenever you want to debug your JS code, console.log function is very important. Later I will show. To understand the flow of application, console.log is very important. Okay, and one more method we will see now. One alert we done, one console.log we done, one document.write function. So what about this document.write function is? Document.write function is a JS function, for show browser top level outputs. So here we can able to paste text data or element data on top of document, or we can write some element, some text, whatever you want, you can just write on top of the document. In the method only, the definition is the document.write. It means we are going to be writing some text, we are going to be writing some elements on top of the document. That is basically document.write. And we need to understand something like a DOM architecture now. So what is the DOM architecture in JavaScript? DOM architecture is very simple in JavaScript. DOM architecture basically browser have something like a window method. On top of the window component, we will be having a document component. Document nothing but HTML. In JavaScript, basically the terminology of HTML is document. Then on top of document, we will be having lot of elements. On top of document, we will be having HTML. HTML having two things, one is the head, one is the body, and inside the head and body we will be having lot of elements. This is basically DOM architecture, and there are a lot of browser related methods, lot of window related methods, lot of document related methods available in JavaScript. So later we will discuss all these methods one by one, and I will draw the picture related to this DOM architecture now. I will draw a picture, a very simple picture. That picture is going to be giving you very good clarity on the document object model. This is the browser, guys. On top of the browser, we will be having the window. On top of the window, we will be having a document. On top of a document, you will be having head and body sections, and head containing something, body containing something. So let me write each and everything here. This is the browser. On top of the browser, you will be having the window. On top of the window, we will be having the document. And here we will be having a header section. We will be having a body section. And inside the body, you will be place lot of elements. Suppose inside the body, I'm going to be placing multiple kind of divisions. And for each and every division, I'll be having a lot of other elements, forms, tables, hyperlinks, whatever you want you can place inside this is the architecture. This is the tree architecture, and finally this architecture is called a DOM architecture. Finally this architecture is actually called a DOM architecture. DOM architecture nothing but document object model. What is DOM? DOM nothing but document object model. People call DOM. DOM means very simple. DOM nothing but document object model. Document object model. DOM nothing but document object model. And this architecture is called the DOM architecture. So let's go for the folder, and this will be DOM. And let's go and take this code, copy, and take the new and save it as nodes. So this is the DOM, and just understand about the DOM. And let's see some program about console.log and document.write. Let's see some program about document.write and console.log. Okay, so I will write one program on document.write. I will write one program on console.log. Now, so save it. This will be console.log. Console.log. See how this console.log is working. .html. Okay, let me write some script, guys. Script open, script close, and this will be console.log. Console.log. Hello JavaScript. Hello JS. And one more thing I'm writing. One more line I'm writing. Console.log. Hello JS. Welcome. Hello JS. Welcome. That's it. And right click on the editor and open in the default browser. And I can't able to see any output on top of the document. I can't able to see any kind of output on top of the document. And just right click on this, go to the inspector. In the part of the inspector window, you will be finding some console. And there you can see the console outputs. The one is hello.js and the one is the hello.js welcome. Hello.js welcome. See, for every browser, console window is available. Each and every browser, just go with the right click and you can find out the inspect. And there inspect window, you will be find out the console button. Just check the console outputs. And now I'm going with some other thing. Why console.log is going to be better using? Suppose I'm writing simple alert box now. I'm writing alert A capital letter. And I want to see the alert now. But I can't able to see the alert. You may think why alert is not coming? What's the problem with alert box? Immediately we are moving to the console window and check with the code of the JavaScript. The first two lines are executing. Why? Because JavaScript is interpreted program. JavaScript is interpreted programming. Interpreted programming nothing but code executes line by line. Compiled programming nothing but code at single time execute. But interpreted programming is code executes line by line. So I already executed two lines of the code. Then finally I got error. That error is a complicated error. What is this error? Alert is not defined. That's it. Very simple. This is not complicated. Alert is not defined. It means whatever the function you're writing, that is a wrong function. And just check with your code and change the a small letter. That's it. So this is the way of using the console window. In the real time, you will be having a lengthy code. You will be having thousands lines of code in JavaScript. There you are doing some mistakes. The browser is very important to check your outputs, to check your errors also. But checking outputs on browser top, checking errors in the browser back. Browser back nothing but the soul of the browser. Soul of the browser is console. Just go to the console, check with errors. Go with the console, check with errors. On top of the body, you see the visualization, you see the CSS, you see the HTML, and the back of the HTML, you find out the JavaScript. So that's it. Please remember this one. And the next one is document.write. Document.write. Document.write function. So how this document.write function is going to be working with us. So let me write some script. Script open, script close, and document.write. Document.write. I'm writing something like hello JS, welcome. So this is document.write. When I am writing some content, that content is basically visualized on top of the browser. Why? Because document nothing but your HTML, and I'm saying that document.write nothing but you just write something on top of the document. Obviously, I can able to see some content on top of the document. Then I'm trying to writing one more thing. After this document.write, I'm writing one more line of the code. Okay, so welcome to full stack. Hello JS, welcome to full stack. Then I'm writing 2 lines of the code, and I just want to see the output of the 2 lines of the code. So 2 lines of the code in the same line. This is the problem with the document. What I want to do, I just want to make it break. So again, you need to specify the break. Again, we need to specify the break. How to specify the break? This is the way of specifying the break. When I specify the break, obviously these 2 lines are making break. Then I want to prepare a paragraph. I want to prepare the heading. So how to prepare the heading? I just want to prepare the heading with document.write. I'm not writing HTML, guys. I'm writing JavaScript. I'm preparing the HTML from JavaScript. I'm preparing HTML from JavaScript. So I'm writing some h1 here. This is HTML inside the JavaScript. HTML inside the JavaScript. Just check it out. Your h1 got. Just check it out. Your h1 got. Whatever the tag you want, you can just write that. Whatever the tag you want, you can just write that. For example, I want to write h2. Just like that, you can write. I want to write order list. Just like that, you can write. So order list, how to write order list open, order list close. And inside order list, I want to take li. Li is nothing but list item. Li. First li is Samsung. Second li is Oppo. And third li is OnePlus. So that's enough. This is order list. I'm going to be preparing some order list using with document.write. Using with document.write, we are going to be preparing the order list. Yeah, so this is the way of this is the way of working with the JavaScript, and we are defining a lot of functions.